So, James, you are well known for your eco-design of homes, and you won many awards for beautiful architecture on the West Coast. So, what would you say about this house that makes it eco-friendly and extremely special, in my view? But it's a very beautiful home, and the whole eco factor, of course, factors in for you in a big way. So do you want to just
share a little bit? That's an interesting question. You know, every project is different, particularly when we're thinking about green architecture. And it's really important to work with the client's expectations as well. But what makes this house interesting is it's actually a very basic project in terms of green architecture. So very natural materials. The siting was very, very important. So we wanted to preserve the natural environment, which is the creek, which is a sensitive ecological ecosystem that we have to be cognizant of when we design around. We didn't take any trees down at all when we started the house, yes.
Wow.
Which was really important. You can see the beautiful driveway that you come up through that's sited to meander in between the forest. And then by placing the house on the bedrock, we didn't disturb any soil, and the natural drainage really wasn't changed at all as well. So for the little bugs and the bees and the salamanders and those things, it was a very eco-friendly project. And then another really important thing about eco-design is thinking about energy usage. Obviously, we have lots of glass in this house, so we have to offset that.
This is unbelievable.
So the advantage of glass on the West Coast is it allows lots of natural daylight to come into the house. And this is really important for this client because Michael works from home. Michael and Jennifer have young children. They're raising a family here. So they want to have a beautiful setting on those rainy winter days, which we get so many of on the West Coast. So the tall windows that go from the floor to the ceiling, the big living room space, that gives them an incredible amount of natural daylight. In the corner windows, really, they make it even more of a wonderful space to be in, to be with your family, and to read and to relax in and to live in. So what we do is we think carefully about where we have large expanses of glass, use that to our advantage for areas where we need lots of natural daylight. And then things like the bedrooms and the bathrooms, obviously we have very small windows there.
Yeah,
we offset it. But a really important thing about this house, I said it's basic. It really is a basic house. It's small. And that's the first order of defense in terms of thinking about energy usage. So they have a big program. It's an ambitious building program of 3 bedrooms, a guest suite, and a home office, and then the standard living room, dining room, kitchen configuration, open floor plan. And we managed to get all of that into just over 2,000 square feet. So it's a very compact, clever design. And then that allows us to take advantage of a little bit more glass and not having a lot of energy wastage. And then finally, the thing that we've done in this house, which I do in so many houses, is passive cooling and passive heating. So we use nature to help mitigate the temperature swings we get on the West Coast. So you can see the floor is concrete. It's a wonderful thermal mass. So when the sun is shining and it's coming through all this glass, the radiation, the ultraviolet radiation, gets into the concrete. It heats the concrete up, and then the concrete can hold on to that heat, and it can radiate back in the evening, which is nice. And then on hot summer days, most houses don't have air conditioning, but it can get up to 30 degrees on Bowen Island in the summer and be uncomfortable. We have these huge doors that open up to allow for cross ventilation. And then we have stack ventilation through openings between the clear story space in the living room and the second floor, and lots of operable windows as well.
It's absolutely stunning. So James, when you build a house like this, or when you design a house like this, how much input does the client have?
Well, every project is different, and when I think about a design process, I go in with an open mind with clients, and so I really tailor the design process to the client. These particular clients, Michael and Jennifer, had a lot of ideas. They actually liked my architecture to begin with, so it was sort of an easy marriage of working together. And they did come with some set ideas. They thought a greenhouse should face south, which is really an intuitive way to think about it. But the big move we did here is we changed the house to actually run up the bedrock, and then that left the west side of the site open for gardens, and then it left all the forest on the east side of the site as something to look into and be a part of. So that was the big change. And then, these clients kept a pretty open mind. It was a very, very quick design process because they were actually back from Africa for a month in January, and my goal was to get them the entire design package done in those 4 weeks. So I kind of worked day and night with them. And it was one of these things where sort of the first ideas really gelled with the client. And I often think your first ideas are the best ideas. And it's great when you have a good idea that the client likes right out of the gate. So that was sort of the process on this. And then what I generally do on interiors is steer the clients to very basic, finishings in the interior, because you can see all the beautiful Douglas fir in this house, the wood windows and the beams. That becomes like furniture in a way, so you really want to show that off. So the color palette is very natural. They certainly bought into that, and they have so many things they've collected from their travels around the world that it becomes a museum for them, or an art gallery as well, with the white. And then the white walls in the wood windows is great for natural daylight, because it bounces the light around the house.
Yeah, thank you. It's I think the client really, Michael and Jennifer, you really kicked it up a notch for them in terms of just enhancing their lifestyle and their expectations. They got, I think, more than they ever dreamt of.
That's always the goal, and it's a team effort between the client, myself as a designer, or any other designer involved in a project, and then also the builder. So it's really important to have that team. So this house was a smooth sailing. Yeah, very smooth sailing.
Super.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.